Austin student was arrested yesterday after officers discovered that student had brought 2 unloaded guns to school. So students at Northeast Early College High School and International High School were placed on a hold twice during the school day. That's all according to a letter sent to families. So during these holds, students and staff continue with their day but stay in their classrooms. During the first 10-minute hold, officers found the student who was, quote, in possession of 2 unloaded firearms. Another hold was called due to another report of a weapon on campus, but police did not find anything. An Austin LGBTQ plus bar and nightclub, Cheer Up Charlie's, could close at the end of the month. The business made a social media post yesterday saying if it doesn't come up with about $60,000 for 2 months' rent, its last day of operation could be the 31st. The post mentioned it's been a slow summer for the establishment. As of this afternoon, about $45,000 has been raised through its coffee fundraiser. Its GoFundMe has raised more than $14,000, just a little over its goal. We did reach out to Cheer Up Charlie's and its property management for comment. We'll update you when we hear back. Digital reporter Abigail Jones has more and is listing public alcohol sales reports from the last 6 months on KXAN.com.
Breaking news from the state capitol, where state senators are discussing and gearing up to take a final vote on a controversial proposed congressional map. Now, that map is designed to give Republicans an edge to gain 5 additional seats in Congress in the 2026 midterms. The proposal is on the doorstep of becoming law. It just needs to be approved there by the Texas Senate, which will remind you Republicans control.
And the map is scheduled for a vote today, but Senate Democrats are delaying the Republican victory. Capitol correspondent Dylan McKim brings us inside the Senate chamber.
Of course, I didn't draw the map.
Surrounded by a sparsely populated gallery, the future of Texas's congressional map played out on the Senate chamber floor.
It's the people's courtroom.
Senate Democrats peppering the bill's sponsor about the map's impact on minority communities.
How does your plan affect the black communities of Harris County and Fort Bend County, Senator King?
I did not take racial data into consideration with regard to this map.
Republican Senator Phil King telling his colleagues that his legal counsel confirmed the map does not violate the Voting Rights Act.
I have a complete confidence that it meets all legal requirements.
The Republican-controlled Senate is ready to approve the map, but Democrats attempting one more move to delay the inevitable. Senator Carol Alvarado intends to filibuster. As long as she keeps talking about the bill and stands at her desk, she can talk as long as she wants. She did a 15-hour filibuster in 2021.
Human Services Committee.
Former state senator Wendy Davis successfully killed an abortion bill on the last day of a special session in 2013 when she filibustered. It will be nearly impossible for Alvarado to filibuster long enough to kill this bill, but Davis said it can still serve a purpose.
Bringing attention to this illegal and racially biased power grab.
When Republicans eventually approve the map, it will be signed by the governor. But as it moves out of the legislature, its next stop will be the courts to decide if the map is ultimately legal. In Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
And when the Senate finally votes on the map, it will be the first item on the special agenda completely passed by both chambers.
Going in depth, this is not the first time a filibuster has taken place in the Texas legislature. In 1977, Senator Bill Meyer set the record for the longest filibuster, speaking for 43 hours against a workers' compensation bill. Then in 2013, Senator Wendy Davis filibustered an abortion bill for 13 hours. She succeeded in preventing its passage before the special session ended. However, it got reintroduced and was passed later. Then in 2021, Senator Carol Alvarado filibustered for 15 hours against a voting bill. She delayed its passage but could not stop it.
Yellow-tinted water streaming out of local taps. That's a concern for some people living in Round Rock. They say their water has not been as clear over the past few weeks. So KXAN's Kevin Bosker got to the bottom of this, finding out what's causing this discoloration and if the water is still safe.
Would you want to take a bath in this? This is what Trey Ozier's family has dealt with in the past few weeks. Yellowish water.
My wife was even saying, like, when it was at its worst, like even putting her hand in it, like it was, you could almost not see her hand. It was so thick and gross.
Lucky for Ozier, The water did clear up a bit when I came to visit on Friday, but Osier says that's happened before, and the watercolor has returned to yellow soon after.
Now it's just got kind of a yellowish tint. So it looks like it's improving, but it's still certainly not perfectly clear.
So what is causing the water to this yellowish green color?
It's due to the manganese in the lake water.
Michael Thane is Round Rock's executive director of public works. He says that due to the significant flooding in July, a lot of the runoff contains such elements that contribute to the water not being as clear. Round Rock sources water from Lake Georgetown, which had a significant amount of runoff from the floods.
It is safe to drink. We're meeting all the standards, but the aesthetics have that yellow tint appearance.
Manganese is a tough metal to treat. It makes our coagulant less effective.
Evan Larson is the superintendent of the water treatment plant in Round Rock, and he points the finger directly at the metal, manganese. He says that once the water is done being treated at the plant, it is in fact clear. The discoloration happens after it leaves the plant.
When that manganese comes in contact with those iron pipes, that manganese is essentially allowed to precipitate out and leach out kind of a greenish color.
And to get rid of that color, Larson says he needs people to report when they see that funny looking water coming out of the pipes and faucets, so they can track it.
It takes a little time and feedback and the public working together with us to kind of tell us where these issues are.
Kevin Bosker, KXAN News.
And this story started as a tip from a viewer. If there's something you'd like us to look into, we have our Report It feature. You can scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now, or you can head over to KXAN.com to find more information on how to send us a tip. Future of some Austin's art sidewalks seems unclear. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy sent a letter to governors urging them to make roads more safe, including removing artwork and political messaging from crosswalks. KXAN's Grace Reader explains one of the more meaningful examples of that in our city is the rainbow sidewalks downtown.
These rainbow crosswalks at 4th Street in Colorado will get a lot of eyeballs this weekend as people swarm to this prominent LGBT area during Austin Pride.
I think it looks beautiful.
But whether these rainbow crosswalks stay is up in the air. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy issued a letter to governors urging them to join a federal road safety initiative, which includes removing artwork or political messaging from streets. Duffy said, quote, "Roads are for safety, not political messaging or artwork. I am calling on governors in every state to ensure that roadways, intersections, and crosswalks are kept free of distractions."
As someone who's visiting here for Austin Pride, it makes me real sad that, that they're trying to erase us away.
These rainbow crosswalks were put here in 2021 to mark National Coming Out Day. They've remained since, and for people like John Wong, they mark a particularly welcome part of our city.
Having that visibility matters to me because I feel accepted in that area, and to, erase that, makes me feel disheartened.
Austin has artwork at other crosswalks too, including this one that looks like water near the LCRA headquarters on Lake Austin Boulevard. But it doesn't have quite the same pull as these, extra special to Austinites for what they represent.
I feel safe coming through this area.
Grace Reader, KXAN News.
And the city of Austin told us there's a conversation happening about this, saying, quote, "This topic is part of the federal manual on uniform traffic control devices guidelines that were adopted December 19th, 2023 with an effective date of January 18th, 2024. Texas has 2 years from this effective date to adopt statewide MUTCD guidelines, and TxDOT is currently accepting public comment through September 2nd, and the city of Austin plans to participate. So in other words, the city won't know whether these crosswalks will stay until that state guidelines process plays out.